Hey, what's up guys, my name is Cherno and welcome to episode 30, the final episode of network chat programming. So today we're going to basically implement one more thing that you guys wanted to implement, and that was the client being able to bring up a dialog box which says who's online. We're going to be doing that today, and also we'll just clean up the server kind of, and maybe add a few things like help, like a help command which lists all the available commands, whatever, just some kind of admin cleanup stuff, okay? And we'll fix a few bugs as well that we have here and there. So first of all though, we're just going to focus on doing the feature that you guys want to see, and that is a bit of a client kind of list, right? A list of online users. Now to do this, right, there's a lot of ways we could do this. The way that I've chosen to do this, right, is, and I'll just show you guys this just to make it a lot easier for you guys to basically see what is going on and what I mean. If I log in here, there's no server actually running, but whatever. If I log in here, what I want to do is kind of like a file, like it on Mac, it'll be up here, what do you call it? Like one of those I guess a menu bar, right? They're called menu bars. And you can go like file and then options, or file exit, and then there'll also be like a file online users. Okay, so I'm gonna do it that way, and then what will pop up is a little like kind of list, all right, a box on the screen, and it'll contain a list. It'll be like a GUI thing. You can drag it around wherever you want on the screen, and it'll be a constantly updating list of who's online. Okay, simple as that. And you can close it, you can open it again, whatever. Now, one thing I want to fix though before we do that, and it's going to be important here, is you can see whenever we kind of resize this window, it kind of works when we go outward, you can see, but when we go in, you can see that this send thing kind of just goes away, okay? And that's a bit of a bug with the grid back layout that we kind of employed here. So let's go ahead and fix that, okay? It'll be kind of easy to fix as well, so don't worry about that. Now, in order to fix that, what we're going to do is first of all open our client window, of course, because that contains everything that we need to fix that. And then obviously over here is all of our stuff, right? Now, let's go ahead and play around with this. First of all, column weights and row weights, we should probably set all this to 0, okay? Because the reason is we don't want that to be overriding what we set in individually here. So basically what column weights and row weights does is it sets, I guess, the weighting of each component, okay? But it automatically sets each component in a particular row and column. So a grid back layout works in the way of having a bit of like basically just a grid, and then you have components in cells in that grid, right? So obviously because it's a grid, it has a column, and it has columns and rows, and the way that it works is that each component in a particular cell has a weight, okay? And this kind of sets a default and it overrides everything. We don't want that, so we want to basically set this all to 0. 0 is actually the default, so we can just get rid of this, okay? And then what we can do is specify the weight of everything individually, okay? So for example, we've got this text area over here, yeah? And what we could do with that is set the weight, individually, right? So for example, and it's in a scroll thing, by the way, which is important to note. So scroll constraints dot weight x, okay, we'll set that equal to 1, and we'll do the same for the weight y, okay? And I'll explain what on earth this weight stuff is. So basically, if you hover your mouse over it, you get a nice explanation. It specifies how to distribute extra horizontal space, okay? So when we resize a component, well, actually not, no, that's a bad way of saying it. Whenever we resize the window, the space, of course, where our component sits, that gets bigger, right? Because the window is getting bigger. Now this weight tells basically the specified component here, which is scroll constraints, it tells that component how to resize along with the window. If we set this to 0, it will not resize. It will always stay the same size, because what we'll actually do is just insert white space into the areas in between, right? If we set this equal to 1, right, then the component will actually get larger. So this text area will actually grow when we resize. That's good. That's exactly what we wanted to do. However, with something like the button, for example, so if we scroll down here to button send, we don't want that to actually resize, do we? We don't want the button to get bigger or anything. We want the button to stay the same size. So we could just simply go ahead and set button send dot weight x equal to 0, and same with y, okay? And that would just make sure that it does not resize. And then we'll also go up here into our text message here, and we'll do a similar thing here, except what we'll do is we'll basically gbc text message dot, we'll set the x width equal to 1, and we won't touch the y at all, okay? And now the reason is we want it to resize horizontally, yeah, but we don't want it. Let's actually explicitly state the y. You don't have to, because the default is actually 0, but I'm writing all this here just for you people to see exactly what it is, right? But the default is 0, so this stuff is not really necessary. But again, no harm keeping it in there, of course. Now, weight x, of course, if that's set to 1, that'll basically allow us to resize things horizontally. So in other words, what will happen is the actual component here, so this is the text message, that's the text field, it will resize horizontally, but it will not resize vertically. So in other words, the width will change based on the window, but the height will never change. The height is static. The height is the same, okay? Brilliant. Okay, so let's just test this out really quickly. See if this works. So yarn, oops, localhost, not that any of this matters right now, but okay, so first of all, it looks the same, which is good. Now if we resize it, you can see that this send stuff, it stays the same. So we can resize it to however small or large we want. You can see that this this text thing, it doesn't move. If we resize vertically, it stays exactly the same, but horizontally, it will get smaller and larger. And similar thing with the send button. The send button will never change, okay? Now, if we were to do something like set the send button, let's go down here just to demonstrate, the weight y, for example, to 1, that would mean it would resize on the y-axis vertically. So the button would actually change size. And this is going to be probably pretty funny here, but if we drag this up, you can see that you can actually see the difference right there. It's really hard to show you guys, but that's you can kind of tell all of the white space over here. So we want to keep it, okay, at 0. If you take it up to 2, probably be even worse here. Okay, so you can see if we take it up to 2, we have this nice little problem here where you can see the button kind of even changes appearance here. So basically, we just want to keep that at 0 because we never want the button to actually change, okay? Simple as that. Now, let's get on with it, okay? It's been a while, discussing all this grid back stuff. But what we want to do now is kind of actually change how our grid back system works. And the reason is we want to insert a menu, okay? Now, this probably look better and work better on Windows, but we'll do it anyway, okay? So what we want to do is we want to come up here, okay? And we've got this column widths and column and row heights, okay? And those things, right? Those things have a few values here. I'm just going to play around with them a bit, okay? So I'll change this to 25. That'll make the first row a bit, well, I guess less tall, because that's the height. We'll change this. Okay, this has to add up to 550. Don't forget. Otherwise, we'll get glitches and stuff. We'll change this to 485. So we've taken away 10 from here and we've added it into here. We're just making the text area a bit larger and that white space at the beginning a bit smaller. With the column width, I think we'll just leave them as they are. They look pretty good to me. Yeah, okay, they're fine. Great. Now, that's pretty much it. Okay, now if we go to, let's right click on this. We'll come over here into our navigator. We will right click on our, let's see, our client window. Yeah. And we'll go open with window builder editor if it's not already open in that, okay? And then that'll just allow us to click the design tab here, and I'll just drag this up so you guys can see. But basically, there's a design tab. Click on it, and you'll be able to see your window in the window builder thing. All right, great. So let's just drag this up. Hopefully, you guys can see this well. But essentially, what we want to do first of all is go back to source real quick. Let's go ahead and find the text area. We want to shift that down. So grid Y will change to 1. Okay, and I think everything else will stay. No, okay. I think everything else will stay the same. Probably. Yeah, okay, let's just see what that looks like. Let's go back to design. All right, great. Yeah, so that's kind of worked. You can see that we've got this white space up the top now. So what I'll do is I'll select under menu, there's a menu little tab here. Under that, I will select a J menu and I'll pop it right over here. It even says menu bar would be placed here. Brilliant, let's place it there. And then we can add items. So if you come over here into a J menu, you can add one. So I'll make one and I'll call it like file, for example. You guys can call this whatever you want. I did not mean to, let's scroll down here. I did not mean to put that in all caps. But, and then we can have something like, online users. And then just for good measure, I'll probably put one to close the application as well. So where's our, put one here to just called exit, just to make it look a bit more populated. Okay, great. Now if we launch this, okay, we'll log in real quick. You can see over here, it looks ridiculous on Mac because it's supposed to be up here, but we've got this little box here. Now this has become a bit of a problem. You can see it's behind it, and that's all right. All we need to do to fix that is change the width here, or the height rather, to just be 1. Okay, there's a few different ways you could do this. Actually, if we leave this on 2, because I think it's probably going to look better if we do, that'll basically take up 2 cells, of course. And what we could do here is we could just simply actually put this back to 0, because the menu bar kind of lives in a world of its own. So if we launch that and we test that out, what we're going to get is basically perfection here. Okay, so we've got file online users and file exit. Let's make that stuff work now. So to make that stuff work, we're going to go into design. We're going to basically right click here on online users, and we're going to go to add event handler, action performed. All right. Now that we've done that, we've got this little box here, and we can actually do something like, for example, show a message, okay, or show something, anything we want. So in order to do that, first of all, I'm actually going to make a new class. So under our Cherno chat folder here, I'll go right click, new, and then other, and then I'll select a JFrame here. It's under window builder, swing design, and JFrame. Hit next. I'll call it online users, okay, and I'll hit finish. Great. Now we're going to do a few things here. We're going to remove this entire main method, okay? Now the only thing that interests us is this set visible, but we don't actually need to have it here at all. So I'll just remove everything, okay? And then all this stuff, I'll remove it as well, okay? Set bounds, I'm probably going to play around with that just because we don't want it to be that specific size. So I'll set the size to something along the lines of, we'll get rid of that and we'll set size ourselves to maybe about, I don't know, 200 by about maybe 350, 320 maybe. All right. That's pretty good. Okay, one thing we'll do actually, okay, I'll just switch over to design so you guys can see it a bit better. This is what we look like right now. All right, so if we actually had Java 7, we'd be able to change the type of this to be a what's called a utility box. It's like a utility window, but that was added in Java 7, and we're actually running Java 6 here. So I'm not gonna deal with that. But what you would be able to do if you were running let's just fix this up here. If you were running Java 7, is you'd be able to do something along the lines of set type and then type.utility, and that would actually make it look very, very different. But we can't do that right here, so the best we can do is just keep it as a normal window, okay, unfortunately. I do recommend you guys do that though, because it looks a lot nicer. Okay, let's add the default serial version ID and stuff like that. Now, we want to have a few methods here, okay? We want to have a public void, public void update along with a string array of users. So in other words, this is what's going to populate our list that we're about to put in. And that is pretty much it for now, okay? If we switch back over to design, you'll be able to, okay, so first of all, let's actually just drag in under, where are we? Let's scroll up. Under containers, under layouts, we'll find grid bag layout here, and we'll just pop it in onto this window here. And the other thing we'll do under components is we will find a JList, and we'll just pop it in, okay, into the most top left grid, okay, and that'll pop up into the entire thing here, which is brilliant, okay. So now we've got a list, a JList, okay. Now you should actually add a generic type to it. That might have been added in Java 7. Looks like it was. Wow. Okay. That's all right. So over here in users, right? First of all, with this JList, we should grab this and we should put it up here into private JList. Oh, I've already done it. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll just paste it in. Oh, okay, great. Okay, so list. And then over here in users, we'll simply go ahead and say list dot set data or something along those lines. What was it? Set list data, I think. Yeah, okay. Users. And of course, because of this, well, this will still work because it's an object, but we can't, unfortunately, use generics with it, but that's all right. That works fine, okay? And that'll basically just set our list of users to be that, okay? It's very, very simple, this class. Now, you might have noticed we don't have any kind of set visible things, and we don't need to. That's the beauty of this thing. One thing we do want to do is under set default close operation, let's just set jframe.exit on close. Make sure you change that. Otherwise, when you close this online users window, your entire client will close. So set this equal to dispose on close and you'll be great. It'll just get rid of the window when you close it. Control Shift O or Command Shift O will just get rid of those unused imports and clean everything up for you. Now in client window, I'm gonna make a private online users, I'll call it users, okay? Over here, when we start this, I'll set users equal to online users, okay? I'll make a new instance of it. Sorry, new online users. And then over here in, oh, actually, we haven't done that. Oh, yes, we have. We've added a, sorry, I've switched over to design. In the menu bar, we added an action performed here. So we'll set users.visible, sorry, users.setVisible to true, okay? Great, and that'll actually show that window. So now let's test this out. Let's go ahead and, we actually haven't updated it with anything either. That's an important thing. No, it doesn't matter. Let's just launch this thing, see if it works. So yarn localhost 8192, log in. We'll go file, online users. You can see this wonderful window pops up and we can resize it and everything. And it will contain our list of users once we add that. And we can close it, we can open it again, and etc. It will work. Now, one thing we should do as well is the first time that it opened in the top left corner. That doesn't look nice, so we can just set the set layout. No, not set layout, set location relative to null, and that'll just center it on our window. We could also pass in the client window as a parameter here, and then set it relative to the client window if you like, but you know, that's a whole heap of things that we could do, but we're not going to, just for, I don't know, just to save time, I guess. Now, over here, right, what we'll do is we'll handle the reception of another kind of string type, right? So we've got an M kind of packet, we've got an I packet, we've got a C connection packet. What we'll do here is we'll actually set another one, okay? And we'll call it message.starts with, we'll call it a U packet, okay? And that'll be a users kind of packet. So in other words, the server will send the client periodically, kind of like it does with these I pings. It'll also send the client occasionally, it'll send the client a list of who's connected to the server, okay? And this is pretty much specifically just for this to work, right? So what we'll do with that to make that work, of course, is we'll have to code it in the server. But basically what will happen, right, is we'll simply go ahead and go string, we'll make it an array, users, right, will actually equal our message, but we'll split it with /u, also our /n, and you'll find out what that is in a minute, and then /e to end it. All right, so that's our entire array here. And then all we have to do, as you could probably imagine by now, is this.users.update. What did I call it? Damn it. This.users.update with users. Okay. I did call it users. So why is this? Oh, okay. It's because it's in a new thread. Doesn't matter. We can just call users update and then call this u or something, and that'll work just fine over here. All right. So there you go. That'll be lovely. So now let's make the server send this u packet, because otherwise we're not getting anything right now. So in our server we have this manage clients. Where is it? Where are you? We've got this manage clients method here, okay? And what it does is it sends this ping thing. Let's also send status, okay? And the set status will just set kind of the users, okay? We'll send the users that we want. So private void set status, whatever. And what we'll do in there is, again, we will send, I guess, we'll send, well, in this case, we will send all of our users that need to get sent. So in other words, what we'll do is every single user that's connected into our server here, we will send a list of that. Okay. Now this could also be used to kind of verify if the server's still there. So it could send a status of, I don't know, whatever. You could do whatever you want, right? So like the server's under pressure, whatever. You can handle whatever you want here. Okay. First of all, if we have no clients connected, so if client size is less than or equal to 0, so in other words it's 0, it'll never be less than, but let's just do that just in case, then let's just return. Okay, so get out of this method, otherwise we'll be sending packets to nowhere. So first of all, let's code our kind of string that we'll send now. So we'll make it start with a /u, And then for each of these clients that we've got here, so I is less than clients.size, I++, for each of these clients, we'll add on their name. So users plus equals, so we're adding onto this string, we're appending onto that string. We'll add on clients.getI.name, right? And then we'll plus we'll plus a /n/, and that's where that /n/ comes in. That's of course because we need to differentiate between users, okay? So because we can't just put a bunch of names, we kind of want to be able to say, all right, well, this is what our string is going to look like, by the way. We kind of want the abilities to say something along the lines of /u. We might have yarn connected, then the next person might be Cherno, then we want to be able to extract these names, okay? Now, at the end, we actually want to put a /e. So what I'll do is I'll set the I equal to clients.size -1, okay? And then I'll simply append onto the end of this clients.get clients.size, right, -1, of course, dot name, along with a /e. So in other words, for the last user, I won't put a /n at the end of him, I'll put a /e. If you only have one user available, of course, it will not do this for loop at all because we're setting it to -1, okay? And it's a less than, not less than equal to, big difference. Great, that's pretty much it. And now we want to send to all this string of users, okay? That's it, that's all we need to do, okay? Now, let's go ahead and fix this little problem we've got here in our server because this send status thing, set status. Send status. There we go. Okay, this should actually work. So let's go ahead and start the server here. As you can see over here in our console, that the server is in fact started. Over here in, let's see, where are we? Client login. Over here in login, yarn localhost 8192. Login. Whoops. Where we're in. So we'll go file online users and you can see that it says yarn over here. What is up with this mouse? It says yarn over here. Now we also get a space, okay? Mysterious, isn't it? We sometimes also get a space. You can see that we've actually got two here. We've got a space and nothing, and that's a bit of a glitch that we have, which I'll talk about in a minute. But basically we've got spaces around here, which we shouldn't have. So let's go ahead and fix that quickly. We'll go ahead and go into a, let's see, into our client window. And then in our client window, when we actually split this, you can actually see maybe what's going on, okay? Because it's splitting /u and /e, it's actually including the two users we have at the beginning. So what it sees in its eyes, I guess, is this, right? And then the next one in the array will be yarn, and then the next one in the array will be nothing again. And it's actually putting these in the array, okay? So if you were to do something like system.out.println u.length, what you would get, if we start this quickly, server is still running again, which is good. If I start this quickly and, you know what, whatever, misspell my name, log in, you can see that, whoops, make sure you, okay, see, 3. The size is 3, okay? So to get rid of those things, we could just trim the array because we know that's going to happen in the front and the end. So the easiest way is going to be to trim the actual array. Now, when it comes to trimming arrays, the easiest way to do that again is just to use this little thing that's called arrays.copy from range stuff thing. So arrays.copy of range, that's what it is. And then all we'll do here is first of all, we'll put in the array, which is u, and then we'll put on the, I guess, the starting index, which we want it to be 1, right? Because the first one's 0, and that's the one that has no character in it. We don't want to have that. And then finally, we'll go ahead and type in u.length -1, okay? Just like that. Make sure you put another bracket in, and you'll be sweet, okay? That'll trim that array for us. So if we go to server main, start that, address is already in use, our server's already started, log in, we'll start this, okay? We'll go yarn localhost 8192. Log in, we'll go file online, well, good thing exit didn't work, eh? File online users, we can see yarn, we can see yarn is the only one here. Every 2 seconds this will get updated. Let's launch another one to see if it works. I'll try and keep this up here. So I'll just hit another one really quickly. Oh, where's that other one gone? Let's just, you know what, let's just minimize this. Here it is, yeah? I've started another one here. I'll go ahead and type in Cherno, localhost 8192, log in, and then suddenly we've got two here. We've got Yarn and Cherno, okay? If I'm Yarn over here, I think this is Yarn, right? Hey, you can see it actually appears on both clients, by the way. If you get rid of this, then you can see that, oh damn, we got rid of the other one. But if we go to online users, it now says Cherno, okay? Simple as that. So everything works as intended, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Network Chat Programming. I'm actually going to end it there because this is a huge episode. I didn't think it would take this long. It unfortunately did. But basically everything that you need to know about that kind of online connection thing. You know what? Actually, hang on. Two more things, okay? One thing I want to do that I just forgot about completely here because I'm an idiot. Let's just close this first. One thing that I forgot to do in the online users.java thing is actually set a title. So let's set a title. This is basically just going to say online users, okay? And then the other thing I want to do is make the font a bit bigger on that list. So I'll go ahead and go list.setFont, maybe something along the lines of new font, Verdana 024, okay? So basically 24 is the size of the font Verdana here. One thing I also want to do is put this into a scroll bar. Okay, you'll see here in a minute that if I was to log in with a user that was like this, okay, log in here, and I was to view the online users, you can see it doesn't fit here with that font size, and I'd have to actually make the whole window bigger. Why not just add a little scroll bar? Let's do that, right? So in order to do that, I will simply go ahead and make a new JScroll pane. I'll call P equals new JScroll pane, and then I will simply go ahead and set the viewport view to be list, okay? And then instead of adding this list here, I'll simply add the actual scroll pane, which we call P, okay? Start that again. Yarn, localhost, A192, login, file, online users. Oh, damn it. Okay, let's make another one here. I didn't make my name really long. So let's do that now. Okay, localhost, A192, login. All right. And now we should see on the online users here. That's not even long enough either. Okay, let's just make this a bit smaller. You can see as we make this smaller, we have a scroll pane here that we can scroll across, okay? And if our online user here, I think this is on Yarn. So if we were to close the other one, you can see that. And as you can see, it disappears, okay? Brilliant. So anyway, that is, that's pretty much gonna end this episode of Network Chat Programming. If you guys did enjoy it, please don't forget to hit the like button. There's going to be one more. I wanted episode 30 to be the last one, but we do have a few other server kind of buggy admin stuff that we want to do. So I'll definitely do that in the next episode. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.